ladies and gentlemen, the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty is still more than alive. And like I said, about 5, 6 months ago, they might just be getting started because last year was a year where all their defensive starters were young. There were a bunch of rookies. And somehow, some way, even without Tyreek Hill, they win a Super Bowl. Even this season, in a down year where it looked like a lot of those young players, specifically on offense, kind of regressed a little bit. And once again, no Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce getting older, and Kansas City finds himself in the Super Bowl, and arguably Patrick Mahomes' worst regular season performance as a quarterback. It is astonishing to me how well run and how buttoned up and how good this Kansas City Chiefs is. This Kansas City Chiefs team is led by Patrick Mahomes. They're heading to their fourth Super Bowl in a 6-year period in the Mahomes era. When I think of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, I think of the heart of a champion. I really, truly do think of that. I think of Patrick Mahomes as the comeback kid, a guy that just refuses to lose at the quarterback position, a guy that has championship DNA. It just seems like Patrick Mahomes was put on this earth to get to and win Super Bowls. I mean, this guy is championship level DNA. This guy is one of the ultimate fierce competitors this game of football has ever seen. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever throw a football. And he has a chance to go down as the greatest of all time in his position. And maybe, just maybe, there's a slim, slim chance he might go down as the greatest player to ever play the game of football. And that's me saying a lot because I have a whole lot of respect for Aaron Rodgers, who to me is arguably the most talented quarterback of all time. But it's fair to say Patrick Mahomes' career is probably going to one-up Aaron Rodgers if he keeps doing things like this. I have a lot of respect for Tom Brady, who to me is the ultimate champion, and right now, without a doubt, is the greatest of all time. But Tom Brady's championship belt of greatest of all time, it is not a foregone conclusion. He will, 50 years from now, be considered that guy. And it's because of a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes and the way the Kansas City Chiefs operate. Patrick Mahomes is one of the few quarterbacks that I actually believe is a little bit better when he's trailing, when he's in an adverse situation where it's like, man, can Patrick Mahomes get us out of this situation? Yeah, he can, because he's Pat freaking Mahomes. That's why he finds a way. He's a wizard. He just finds a way to win. He's great with a lead. He's great when trailing. He's not a front-running quarterback, Tom Brady was a little bit better when trailing at times. Peyton Manning had a lot of comebacks in his career where he just stole victories from teams. Ben Roethlisberger is very, very underrated in this category as far as being clutch. But Patrick Mahomes, you want to talk about clutch? That guy lives it and breathes it. There's a reason Patrick Mahomes wins over 70% of his games, not only in the regular season, but also in the playoffs. You want to know why? Because in adverse situations, Patrick Mahomes just finds ways to continue to bring his team together. He's the ultimate leader. He's the ultimate competitor at the quarterback position. He's just the real deal. Patrick Mahomes is more than special. And it just seems like Patrick Mahomes is always upbeat, always, trying to be positive. And a guy like Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who a lot of people criticized and said should be cut by the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes had his back the entire way. And what do you know? Patrick Mahomes works with the guy in practice, continues to not shy away from going to his young wide receivers like Rashid Rice, like a Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And what do you know? Marquez Valdes-Scantling finds a way to make the game-winning catch and seal the victory for the Chiefs, And there's kind of an invincibility factor when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. It's like, I don't expect when the chips are on the line for this guy to fall flat on his face. I mean, obviously there are times where he has, where in the Super Bowl versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, I felt he kind of choked in that game. He did not put together his best performance, didn't score a touchdown, multiple interceptions. There was that second half at home versus Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals where the Bengals defense kind of got the best of Mahomes that day. But compared to some of these other quarterbacks, I mean, Peyton Manning, as great as he was, he's got a 14-13 career playoff record. Patrick Mahomes already up to this point. What does he have? 14 playoff wins? What is he? 14-3 in the playoffs compared to Peyton Manning's 14-13 record? Peyton Manning, the great 5-time MVP, multiple time Super Bowl champion, Peyton Manning went one and done in the playoffs 9 times, lost 13 times in total. That doesn't even sound right. When you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes on the other side, it seems like he never loses in the playoffs unless there's kind of a fluky all-time great situation where it's like, oh, Tom Brady, comes through. The defense is playing at an all-time great level. Joe Burrow surprises everyone out of nowhere. But it just seems like Patrick Mahomes continues to find a way, and other teams and other organizations, not named the Kansas City Chiefs, they find excuses. And even in a down year, Patrick Mahomes throws for over 4,000 yards, completes 67% of his throws, and wins 10 games. That's a down year for Patrick Mahomes. He is ridiculously good. We've never seen anything like Patrick Mahomes in the game of football. The sport has never seen anything like him. It's almost like Patrick Mahomes watched Aaron Rodgers growing up. Patrick Mahomes has said multiple times Aaron Rodgers was his favorite quarterback growing up, and he just kind of took what Aaron Rodgers did and made his own special sauce. Now, does it look as pretty at times as an Aaron Rodgers or a Dan Marino? Not necessarily, but it's effective. It just seems like whenever Patrick Mahomes tries to take off and run, he finds a way to get the first down. Whenever he cocks back and makes that big boy throw, it just seems like that ball's going to missile in there for a completion. Anytime he sees Travis Kelce, they're going to connect. And I understand Mahomes is also in an all-time great situation where you have Andy Reid, you have support, you have Travis Kelce, you had Tyreek Hill in the past, you have an offensive line that knows how to block up front for you. But the ultimate centerpiece is the quarterback. The ultimate piece that determines wins and losses in the NFL is the quarterback. And Patrick Mahomes, he's that CEO. He's that guy. And I think the world of the guy. This guy is the best quarterback in the NFL and will be the best quarterback in the NFL for the foreseeable future unless someone just steps it up a notch. Lamar, Josh Allen, even CJ Stroud. Y'all got a long ways to go before you catch Patrick Mahomes in the quarterback hierarchy as far as just quarterbacks playing today. But yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, never seen anything like him. It just seems like he's already a football immortal. He's amazing. He's great. And if he retired today, he's probably already one of the 5 best quarterbacks that's ever played. And he's playing in his 4th Super Bowl, has a chance to win 3 Super Bowls in a 6-year period. That'd be really, really a great story. And I always thought he was a little bit underrated coming out of Texas Tech, but I think even I underestimated just how good he could be. And Patrick Mahomes, he's the real deal. Kansas City is a well-run organization, and yeah, it's great. It's a great, great thing to see Patrick Mahomes doing this thing.